If you are on Fiverr and you feel like you're doing everything right, but your gigs aren't getting clicks, orders, or ranking well, there's a good chance you have a problem hiding with Fiverr's new success score system. I say new, it's been around for a while, but it's still really misunderstood. This isn't a fluffy vanity metric. It directly impacts your rankings in search, your ability to level up, and even whether Fiverr lets you run promoted gigs or ads. But here's the kicker, Fiverr gives almost zero info on how it works. Really frustrating, I know, so in this video we're lifting the hood and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you how the success score is actually calculated. Yes, I have found the recipes. How each metric works with real-world examples, what tanks your score and how to fix it, and the hacks top sellers like me are using to recover from drops and game the system ethically. So this is going to be the most detailed breakdown of the Fiverr Success Score on YouTube. Let's go. So what is the Fiverr Success Score? The Fiverr Success Score is Fiverr's way of measuring how good your gig is. Imagine it this way, Fiverr's there, they have millions of gigs in a bunch of different categories and they're looking for an easy numbers way of objectively measuring how good your gigs are. And so this is the metrics they've decided to watch to try and figure out how good your gig is in the very grand scheme of things. It's very, very generic. It's very, very generalized, but that's what you have to deal with when you're working on a big marketplace. And so this is how you do it. All right, so your success score is a per gig score from 1 to 10 that tells Fiverr how well you deliver a great buyer experience. Fiverr says it's based on things like buyer satisfaction, on-time delivery, responsiveness, order completion, value for money, revisions, repeat buyers, conflict-free orders. But what they don't tell you is it's updated really, really slowly. Delays of up to 14 days. And I believe the actual working window of the stats it's calculating is 3 months, about 90 days. So it can take a long time for things to update. If you have 3 months of orders and you have one catastrophe, that will be in the metrics for quite a while before new orders start coming in and affecting metrics. So I know it can be frustrating, but bear with me, I'll tell you how to fix it. Okay, so some important points are it uses private feedback more than public reviews. It considers how your gigs perform versus similar gigs in the same category. So you might have 5-star ratings, glowing reviews, but be sat looking at your success score being 5 out of 10 and wondering what the hell's going on. Well, that's why. Right, so first off, response time, everyone kind of knows this one. Fiverr measures your response time. It's between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m., I believe, in your local time. And your response time is the average time it takes you to respond to new first-time messages during that window. The response rate is the percentage of first-time messages responded within 24 hours. There should be no excuse for having a response rate that's less than 100%. Just reply to your damn messages. It's as easy as that. Now, there are a couple of tricks you can use to improve your response times. The first one I can give you that's really, really handy is just reply straight away. It doesn't matter if you have the actual answer for them or not. Just reply quickly. Oh, hey, thanks for your message. I'll look into this and get back to you shortly. That's going to flag to Fiverr as an immediate response and help that metric. And then you can reply later when you've got more time to write a more detailed reply to your customer. Another one that's really, really commonly overlooked is how quickly you respond to new orders. Whenever someone places an order, jump in there straight away in the order chat and say, hey, thanks for your order, we'll get on this ASAP. Or even better, to offer a better customer experience, review their order gig requirements that they've submitted and be like, hey, thanks for your gig requirements, totally get it, we're on it, we'll get this done for you. That's a really important metric you need to keep up on. That one caught me out for a while because I'm booking gigs and then we're never replying to them until we noticed that that was actually affecting the stats. And once we fixed that, great stuff. The other one you need to make sure that you're responding to really, really fast is revision requests. Just jump in. Hey, got your revision request? I will take a look at that shortly. Bang, you've got an instant response that's banging your stats out. the client's happy because they know you've seen it, and then in an hour or two later, when you've got some more time, cleared head, whatever, you can reply in more detail. You don't have to do the revision immediately, you just have to acknowledge it. Just, hey, got your revision, on it, cheers mate. Obviously, things that will help you achieve this, make sure you have the Fiverr app installed so you can get notifications, and you can also set up canned responses. Now, it's really important to understand that your auto response that you set up, if you have an auto response that automatically sends, does not count as your first message, but canned responses that you send manually do. And of course, even if it's outside of that 9 to 9 window, if you can respond anyway, even if it's a thanks for your message, it's nighttime here, I'll check this out in the morning. It all helps. Okay, as you know, every cancelled order hurts. Like a lot. Cancel orders are terrible. Even mutual cancellations are hideous to your stats. But here's how you can avoid them most of the time. Make sure you define your scope. Make sure your order criteria is ironclad. Make sure you have the exact words, the exact deliverables laid out. Make sure that all of your order, everything on the order is very clearly defined in an objective, measurable fashion. Make sure when you write your gig offer and you send custom offers that it's written in such a way that someone that has no idea what you do can look at it and be like, yes or no, it did or did not meet this. Because if it is absolutely ironclad and you have to do a mutual cancellation, you can normally claim that it's out of scope if you have defined the scope really, really clearly. Of course, this also means you need to be very, very clear about what your revisions policies are and what's included. And this is super, super important when buyers message you with like vague requests. Make sure before you send the offer, you nail it down. You say, look, thanks, before I send you offer, can I just clarify X? Just want to be absolutely sure we are on the same page. So this is really important for preventing what's known as scope creep. If you are a creative freelancer, you know all about scope creep. So you can get ahead of this by making sure you message them at the beginning, really clear outline of what the scope of this order is, and just say, hey, look, just a heads up, if anything does go behind what's outlined in the gig, I will create a quick custom offer so that we can stay aligned on that. And it's a really good way of just setting your boundaries and expectations and keeping everything going. You can also use the FAQ section for and gig extras to also help proactively explain. Then if anything does go wrong, you can always message support and be like, hey, I had this, we very clearly defined this, and I've had to cancel it because, and look at the cancellation reasons and make a note of the ones that are the client's fault rather than your fault, and then use that exact phrase. Because the customer support guy doesn't care, they're just looking to check a box, right? And if they can check a box, they'll do it. So if you've defined your scope, and then you have to do a mutual cancellation, once you've done that and the cancellation's gone through on the system, message support and say, hey, look, really sorry, we had to cancel this order because the buyer was requesting services that were outside of the scope of the order. And you can ask them to remove the defect, and 9 times out of 10 they will, and that will help you fix your score. So here's what a lot of people miss. Fiverr doesn't just check if you deliver on time, they're also checking how close to the deadline that you're delivering these gigs. So consistently delivering minutes before the deadline gives a bad signal and gives you bad stats, even though you're looking at this going, I've delivered everything on time. Okay, so here's what you do. You just add some buffer time to every gig. If it's going to take you 2 days, set your gig to 3 days, then deliver in 2 days like you were anyway. Well, now the system thinks you've delivered a day early. And this in no way affects your average order delivery time, because the delivery time's still the same. All you've done is added a day to the expectations. So this tip is free real estate. Just start doing it. If for any reason you ever need to use the extend delivery button, just make sure you do it before the timer runs out, ideally with buyer approval. And bear in mind the extended delivery timer thing, I've forgotten what it's called right now, it takes 24 hours before it automatically approves. So if you're going to request an extension, make sure you do it before 24 hours before the gig, so it has time to automatically close out. And if you ever do miss a deadline, like I say, even if you deliver just an hour late, it still counts as a defect, and that will tank your score for months. So just be proactive with that one and make sure it doesn't happen. That one is completely in your control. If you're getting too many revision requests, Fiverr just assumes your buyers aren't happy. They track how many rounds of revisions you go through per order, whether the final result matches what was promised. This is the only real way they have of measuring that. So even if you resolve all of the issues, the algorithm still remembers that friction. And it kind of thinks that that is bad customer experience, even though that's not always the case. So what do? Just ask smart questions before starting. Send a work in progress checkpoint if the delivery is complex. And before delivery, ask, would you like me to make any changes or change anything before I send and deliver this officially? Again, make sure when you're selecting your delivery time, add another day so that you have enough time to check in with the buyer rather than actually delivering and then getting a revision. Pretty easy way of just making sure everything goes smoothly. Fiverr sends a private feedback form to buyers a few days after each order, and this is where a lot of us just get wrecked. So to deal with this, just make sure you over-communicate throughout the order. Surprise and delight, bonus assets, quick turnaround, friendly tone. One of the tips I gave in my other videos is add something free to your delivery. I deliver everything in 4K instead of 1080, and I do that anyway, but I frame that as a free gift, so they're always happy when they're about to leave a review. And you can do the same thing. I've seen some buyers do wonderful things where they have like a PDF guide on how to best deploy the work that they've just delivered, that sort of thing. Resources they might need to use the deliverables. Just anything you can think of that you can send to clients that's free and fairly easy for you to do, it will be a massive help. You can, of course, ask them to leave reviews. Now remember, you are allowed to ask them to leave you reviews. You are not allowed to ask them to leave a positive review, but you can frame the ask so they're in a positive mindset. So you can say, if you're happy with the result, a quick review would really help me grow. It makes a massive difference here. And adding a little bit where a review really helps me and it helps me grow, it kind of triggers like the reciprocity thing. It makes it way more effective. So whenever you're asking a client for anything like, oh, would you mind leaving a review? Explain to them why. And it gives them incentive and motive to do it. They'll do it more often. I trust you. Trust me. Okay, so Fiverr sees repeat buyers as a massive sign of high trust and value. It's one of the strongest signals for success score. So tactics to get them back. Send follow-up messages 1 to 2 weeks after delivery. Hey, I hope you liked that other delivery. Is it working well? Let me know if you ever need anything else. Offer a small discount or bonus for repeat customers. Make sure you're delivering a great experience so they naturally want to return. Fiverr tracks how your price compares to others in your category. If you're charging more, you better deliver more. So here's how you can boost your perceived value. Show off your portfolio. Use case studies. Mention specific outcomes. This video helps a client 3x their conversion. And a quick warning, cheap work that feels low effort gets low scores, even if it's delivered on time. Right, conflict-free orders. This includes no disputes, no escalations to Fiverr support, no chargebacks. Basically, don't screw it up. So a quick hack here, if a buyer's being difficult but not abusive, use gentle language to keep things off of Fiverr's radar, and always think about how your messages will be read by customer support, by someone that barely knows what you do, because customer support do the whole of Fiverr, not just the niche that you're in. So always think about how your messages will be perceived by someone else reading them. And make sure you're writing things like, let's work together to find a solution that works. I want you to be thrilled with the final results. If things are really, really going south, start documenting everything in the order chat. Then contact support and explain respectfully, calmly, and with screenshots. Here's a cool appeal strategy template for you. Hey Fiverr, I just want to appeal this issue because my buyer, brief summary, I did my best to resolve it and I believe this is out of my control. Please consider removing the defect. Again, have a look at the forms in the resolution center for the exact wording of the things that are not within your control, like buyer requesting things out of scope, this sort of thing, that you can reference to make it easier for customer support to find the right checkbox. Okay, these are indirect, but they still matter. Click-through rate is how many people see your gig versus how many of them actually click on it. Conversion rate is how many clicks turn into orders, and saves is how often people favorite your gig with the little heart button. So how do you boost this? Well, you improve your thumbnail, bold text, real face, contrast. I have a whole video just on thumbnails. Go and check that out. My other videos also cover how to make hooky titles that use emotion, clarity, or outcome drivers to get people onto your gig. Again, check out my other videos after this one. And make sure you keep your gig video updated regularly. Use high impact keywords in the first 100 characters of your description, and all of these things will help get you through. But if you really want to know how to create great gigs, again, have a video on that. Go check it out. Promoted gigs, if you have them and you're not using them, are a good way to boost traffic and exposure. So if you're in a good place and ready to take on your orders, just smash out some promoted gigs, or Fiverr ads as they're now called. Because that's going to help you get orders, which helps you get more feedback into the system, and that volume will help push out the old bad stuff. So if you can get like 3 to 5 quick, high quality orders with fast deliveries, happy buyers, you're going to start sending new signals to Fiverr that your gig is healthy and you're doing well. Don't remember, if you're trying to recover from a dip though, it could take up to 3 months to push that out. The important thing is to keep pushing new stuff in, because eventually as that bad stuff drops off the other end, you'll start picking up. Otherwise, you end up in this downward spiral where you get a couple of bad orders and then your impressions drop, and then you have less orders, and then because you have less good orders coming in, the old bad orders are looking worse. They're a bigger percentage of your orders, so you've got to really avoid that spiral. But run the ads for the week, see what you get, and hopefully you'll start rebounding. So yeah, Fiverr Success Score isn't just about being a good freelancer, it's about being a strategic operator on Fiverr. And if you want more detailed breakdowns like this, be sure to check out my other videos. If you like my videos and want to work with us to produce videos for your company, or know anyone that wants videos for their company, check out my site, kraken.media. Other than that, go and check out my other videos. I will see you over there.